Hey, welcome back to KitScy. So today I'm going to show you how to use pH paper. And so I bought some pH paper. I'll show it to you. And the little strips. They come in a little canister. I got these from Granger. So it's like an industrial supply store that they have throughout the country. I'm in the US. I think you can probably get these from a Tractor Supply store, so if you live in a rural area, you can get this from a Tractor Supply. But I bought some pH paper, and what I'm going to do today is to test the pH of a couple of common household items. So I have water here, my trusty water jug, just for dilutions. I have some vinegar. I have it labeled AA, and that's acetic acid. So vinegar is about 4 to 5% acetic acid, depending on what kind you get. Lemon juice, some citric acid, and you may remember this from our volcano. Tomato sauce, Diet Coke, because I have it left over from the Mentos videos, some milk, I have some baking soda, some tap water, and this is Mr. Plumber. So it's like Drano's like bathroom drain opener. You want to be careful when you're using like Drano because it's really caustic. So it's really basic. So bases are proton acceptors and acids are proton donators. And I'll put something on my website about the difference between acids and bases. But today we're going to just talk about using pH paper and what things in a household are common acids or bases. Alright, so I just poured a little bit of each one in a little cup. So these are the same cups I used from seed starting. So depending on what you put in your cups, you can, just rinse them out and reuse them. So don't throw them away. I'll reuse them. I'm probably reusing these for like seed starting. So the citric acid is actually a powder. And what I did was I made a saturated solution, and you can see there's still some at the bottom. So the solution this part here is saturated, and a solution is saturated when no more can go into solution at that temperature. You can make it super saturated by like heating it up, and then you can add more to it. 1 second. Coke, milk, water, and our baking soda again. It's a saturated solution, so there's excess baking soda at the bottom. And I did that just so we can test the baking soda. So in order to make like your saturated solution, just get your cup, your water, just put your water in your cup. And this is just a big bowl of baking soda. I was like, I knew I was going to use baking soda a lot, so I was like, I'm just going to buy a big thing of baking soda. And just put like a couple of heaping teaspoons in there and give it a stir. And then you have to let it sit, so like it's not going to be ready right away at the sink. So you can let that sit. So by the time the video is over with, you'll see that it's going to settle out. So really strong bases can etch glass. So what we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and change the camera angle so you can see when I dip the pH, the indicator, like the pH strips, into the different solutions. Also, I'm wearing gloves just because I will be dealing with Mr. Plumber, and I'm going to put my glasses on. So I just dipped it into the acetic acid, or your vinegar, pretty much just household vinegar. And I'm going to put it on this paper towel here to let it dry. So you have to let it sit for a little bit in order for the color to show. So some of them take a little bit of time to develop. And on your canister, so there's like a little color guide that tells you the approximate pH of it based on what color it is. And it also starts off kind of light orange. So you may not think anything's happening because it's orange, but that's just because it's acidic. That's our lemon juice. I'm gonna move these old ones out of the way. Our citric acid. It's orange, because again it's an acid. So that means it's going to be within that 2 to 4 range. I'm going to slide on down. Tomato sauce. This one's going to be kind of tricky because the tomato sauce is red. We're just gonna wipe some of that off. We have a Coca-Cola. I know you're saying like all these are orange and yellow, like they're not really doing anything. They may have faulty paper. Again, these are things that we know are, you know, relatively acidic. So you say like too much cola or drink, whatever you want to call it, pop. We call them drinks down here. Mess up your teeth because they're really acidic. Same thing for tomato sauces. You know, those are really acidic. You can actually clean your pans with tomato sauce and vinegar. I don't know if I just said that or not. But just use, you know, vinegar. It's easier than putting tomato sauce in your pans. We got some milk. And you see the milk turned it yellow? A little yellow greenish. And the milk's about a 6. It's almost neutral. So this one here, this is actually my tap water. And the water actually took a little bit longer, so that one took a second to develop. I did this earlier. I'm just gonna let the water sit on there. But it's turning a little greenish. Here we have our baking soda. Saturated solution. Boom, turn green. And this is what I meant here by the, like letting it wait, like letting it sit when you're making a saturated solution. So you can see all the baking sodas at the bottom now. And that's the solution I'm testing up here. And it still can wait a little bit longer for it to settle some more. And at the end we have our Trano, which is why we're wearing our gloves and our goggles. And you see you put that in and it immediately turned blue. So I'm gonna plop that quickly on our paper towel. You can see different colors here. So the blue, I mean that's like about 13 or 14 on the scale. You have green with the baking soda. It's about 8, 9. And that's our tap water right here. So it wants to be neutral, so it's playing around at the yellow and green mark. So it's about a 6.5, right at 7. And it kind of goes all the way through. And then stopping between 2 and 4 with the acids down here. So yes, that's how you use your indicator paper or pH test strips. And once you let them sit for a while, the colors do change. So let me bring these back up here. And some things can be so acidic or so basic that they actually destroy the indicator paper. So you can see now that the water is more green now. So once it's set for a little bit, the color kind of showed up a bit more. But these are the ones I did earlier. And you can see this one was the one, this is the one that was in Drano. And it was so basic or so caustic and corrosive that like, when it turned the paper white. And you see, even with some of the stronger acids, like it bleached the indicator paper. So just because it was orange initially, when you place it in the acids, that doesn't mean that it's actually not a strong acid. You know, maybe the paper just takes a while. These are those same acids down here. Okay. So this is how you use pH paper. Make sure you use something that's aqueous or like water-based. So, you know, don't use oil or a mineral spirit, something like that to do this. If you're gonna work with something that's extremely basic, wear gloves. You can get the gloves from like a nail shop, Home Depot. You can use kitchen gloves because they're rubber and they're thick. So you can find some nice pair of like dishwashing gloves. Use those and just wash them with a lot of soap and water afterwards and hang them up to dry, because you don't want to mess up your hands. And then also you don't want to mix acids and bases. Like, you don't want to mix it unless they're weak acids and bases. So like we mix, you know, citric acid and baking soda to make our volcano, and that's why the volcano erupted. So I'm gonna show you that. But you don't want to mix like strong acids and bases. Like, if it's strong, no, don't mix it. But the weak ones, you go ahead. So I got like a glass mixing bowl and citric acid in there and baking soda. But this is a weak, you know, acid-base reaction, and that's all you want to do in the kitchen at home, like weak stuff. So also when you're storing things in your house, you have to think like, what's the pH of it? Is this acidic and is it basic? Don't store them together, you know. Don't store your vinegar next to your Drano. Put the Drano somewhere else, put the vinegar somewhere else. But that's all I wanted to let you know for the video. Hope you enjoyed it. This will be a really good science fair project, so like spur of the moment, oh my gosh, I need a science fair project. Go get some pH paper and then start testing aqueous household solutions. Make sure you wear something that you don't mind getting dirty, so coat or like old jeans, old t-shirt, and get some gloves when you start working with chemicals, because you want to make sure you don't get anything on your skin that you don't want on your skin. Kitchen gloves from Walmart or whatnot. So hope you enjoyed the video. Bye!